Good morning, everyone. A very warm welcome to all respected members, dignitaries, participants joining us online for the celebration of World Standard Day 2025, organized by the Institution of Engineers India, Vallabh Vidyanagar Local Center. Every year, World Standard Day reminds us of the essential role of international standard plays in creating a more connected and sustainable world. The theme of this year is Shared Vision for a Better World, spotlight on SDG 17, Partnership for the Goals, emphasizing the power of collaborations, coordinations, and the collective progress in achieving the sustainable development goals. We are truly honored to have us an eminent academician and visionary leader, Professor Dr. Indrajit and Patel sir, Provost CVM University, Vallabh Vidyanagar, as today's keynote speaker. To begin today's proceedings, I am delighted to invite Dr. Aati Pamnani, chairperson of IEI Vallabh Vidyanagar Local Center, to deliver her welcome address and share her thoughts on the IEI and its continuous commitment to advancing the engineering excellence through the knowledge sharing and the professional collaborations. Ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, Amit. A very good morning to all present over here. We are really delighted to have with us Professor Dr. Indrajit Patel, Provost of Vallabh Vidyanagar University, a person who has a vision for development of education and society together. He leads with membership and with a team to grow together with each other. We have seen him growing along with all the team members that he carries with him. We are really glad to have you, sir, with us in this World Standard Day and the very rightful topic that can give us your vision about shared visions. About IEI, the Institute of Engineers is a very old forum for engineers, by the engineers, and of the engineers. It is a forum where we can meet engineers from different parts of the world, not only India. Many of us don't know about what is the Institute of Engineers. It is one of the oldest collaborations of engineers and has collaboration with many engineering societies. So, if you are the member of the Institute of Engineers, you are not only the member of the Institute of Engineering, even can become the member of other committees and other societies of engineering. That is not only in India, but globally. There is an Institute of Engineers student chapter at Vallabh Vishwakarma Mahavidyalaya. The students, those who have joined us from BVM, can also join the student chapter of the Institute of Engineers. All the engineers, I request you all to be part and parcel of the Institute of Engineers. As you all can see that we have and leverage to listen to such a speaker like Dr. Indrajit Patel. I welcome you all to the World Standard Day celebration of the Institute of Engineers and hope that you will have a very good session with Dr. Patel. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your inspiring words and for highlighting the vision and the mission of the IEI. Now, before we proceed to the keynote sessions, let me take a moment to introduce our distinguished speaker for the day. Professor Dr. Indrajit N. Patel, sir, is renowned academician, academic leader, and accomplished civil engineering. He is currently serves as a provost of CVM University, Vallabh Vidyanagar. He is also a past chairman of the Institution of Engineers Vallabh Vidyanagar Local Center during the year 2017 to 19. Dr. Patel has made outstanding contributions in the field of civil engineering, structural engineering, sustainable construction, and academic administration. His guidance and vision continues to inspire students, researchers, and professionals alike. We are privileged to have him with us today to deliver a keynote address on the theme of shared vision for a better world, spotlight on SDG 17, partnership for the goal. I now invite Professor Dr. Indrajit Patel, sir, to kindly deliver the keynote speech. Over to you, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Good morning and namaskar to one and all present on this digital platform to celebrate World Standards Day observed on 14th of October every year. Distinguished Dr. Arti Pamnani, Secretary Dr. Amit Rawal, distinguished members of Executive Committee, IAI Vallabh Vidyanagar Local Center, IAI family members, and my dear students. It is my privilege to address this August gathering on the eve of World Standards Day, organized under the auspices of the Institution of Engineers India, particularly Vallabh Vidyanagar Local Center. I, on behalf of III, extend a warm greetings to all the participants and the stakeholders present in this August gathering. Today we gather under the theme Shared Vision for a Better World. The theme is not merely aspirational, it is a clarion call to all the engineers, industries, government, academia, and civil society alike to come together, united by standard, to build a future that is safer, equitable, sustainable, and a resilient one. Let me begin my talk by placing the significance of this day in the context, though the organizers have briefly shared about the importance of the day. World Standards Day is celebrated annually on the 14th of October to honor the collaborative efforts of the experts around the world who develop a voluntary technical agreements known as standards that interpermeability, quality, safety, and efficiency as well. The theme of this year, Shared Vision for a Better World, underscores the nation that no single entity can steer humanity or infrastructure alone. Only through the cooperation, coordination, consciousness, and common framework that is standards can we address the complex and transactional challenges. Standards are one of enabling instruments of 2030 agenda for a sustainable development. They underpin the functioning of the markets, supply chain, regulatory system, public infrastructures, and service to the society. Through standardization, we can reduce duplication, waste, risk, fragmentation, and the barriers, and thereby unlocking the greater efficiency and trust in the process and product at large. Let me outline some of the fundamental roles and impact of the standards, particularly dealing with the engineers and institutes such as ours. Interoperability and compatibility, in which the standard ensure the components, system, devices built by different manufacturers or in different regions can work together seamlessly. Without them, fragmentation and incompatibility stifle innovation and the scale. When I talk about the safety, quality, and reliability in the sectors like energy, infrastructure, transportation, medical devices, standardization ensures that safety thresholds, testing protocols, reliability levels are ahead, as well as protecting lives and the property together. When we addresses the trade felicitation and market access, standard reduces the technical barriers to trade, harmonize or internationally accepted standard allow the products made in India to enter the global market more easily and likewise enable to import of suitable technology without redundant rework. The cost and efficiency, resource optimization, when multi-parties adhere to the common standard, duplication, rework, customization cost, and waste are minimized. This is especially critical as we pursue the sustainability and circular economy goals. Nowadays, when entire world is facing challenges about the tariff imposed by the developed countries, then the ways and means to standardize the different policies, different rates, and different percentages will directly or indirectly affect the cost efficiency in the particular country. Innovation and trust are provided by the standards to the suitable platforms or a baseline upon which innovation can build. They create confidence amongst the end users, stakeholders, consumers, regulators, and investors as well. The common example, the Sensex Index, Nifty, and National Stock Exchange. Sometimes both goes in line to line. Sometimes there is vast difference in Nifty as well as the Sensex. So the investors are always worried about the portfolio which should be holistically taken care for the investment, not within India, but when we talk about the global tech exchange or faith in the global stock exchange, then innovation and trust put a major role in where the standardization at the national level and the global level matters. Sustainability and resilience as we face the climate change, resource constraints, pandemics, and social inequalities, the standard helps embed resilience, energy efficiency, material sustainability, and accessibility into the systems from the ground up. The standards are not merely technical documents, but bureaucratic, pardon me, the standards are not merely technical documents or bureaucratic constraints. They are the enablers of the collective progress. The standard and SDG, the United Nations, that is last Paris Agreement, the United Nations 17th Sustainable Goal present a universal blueprint for the peace, prosperity, and sustainability. To realize them by 2030, we require tools, frameworks, policies, institutions, and a collective coordination. The standards provide a very holistic approach to all these parameters which are required to be addressing for the UN SDG goal 17. Standards play a pivotal role as one of those tools. Let me highlight a few linkages of the Paris Agreement. When we talk about SDG 9, industry innovation and infrastructures, this is perhaps the most directly aligned. Standard guide the design, the construction practices, the operation manuals, and maintenance of infrastructures, as well as promote inclusive industrialization and sustainable innovation. In fact, recent World Standard Day messaging highlight spotlight on SDG 9 under the shared vision theme which we are observing today. SDG 7 talks about affordable and clean energy, standardization in renewable energy, grid interconnectivity, storage and energy efficiency ensures that clean energy systems are safe, interoperable, as well as scalable in its nature. The SDG Goal 11 addresses the sustainable cities and communities from building codes, urban transit, water system, waste management to IoT and smart cities. Standard underpin the resilient and the smart city challenges. SDG Goal 12 look for the responsible consumption and production. The standard around productive life cycle, eco-labeling, circular material, and emissions help reduce the waste and environmental footprint. Look to the critical issue of the good health and well-being, medical device standards, diagnostics, telehealth protocols, biomedical safety standards, all protect the public health in general and community in particular. Very simple example, the blood pressure. We talk about 80 to 120 is normal, but it's different from age to age, it's different from country to countries. And the dosage of the medicine purely depends upon the age as well as the environment at large in the different countries. SDG 13 is a need to take the challenges of the climate action, standard for the climate monitoring, emission, resilience, and adoption of the framework integrate into engineering and infrastructure planning. Friends, during last many Earth Summit, right from Johannesburg to Denmark to Paris, the people talk different gas emission. US follow different standard, UK follow different standard, the South Asia Pacific follow different standard. The developing countries like India, we follow different standards. We have challenges, so it is difficult to be in line with the global requirement. So if under this SDG, the standards for the climate actions are taken in a holistic way, I am sure that whether it is developed country or developing country, we will be able to contribute toward the reduction in greenhouse gases and addressing the environmental sustainability. These are just illustration. Each sustainable development intersects with engineering and standardization in a multiple ways. Giving this interlinkage, our theme, shared vision for a better world, calls for all of us to rally around the standards as one of the foundation enablers to achieve the desired sustainable development goals, which is undertaken under the Paris Agreement. Indian context, Institute of Engineers, Bureau of Indian Standards, and Standardization in India holistically look towards different product, different processes, different users, recycling, different energy sectors. So all these together have to be sensitized to the students, to the community, and to the. Today we are lucky that Institute of Engineers has considered the theme shared vision for a better world, turning around the focus to the India. What is our journey? What is our current state? And what are the roles of technocrats and engineers at large? Just to brief about the Bureau of Indian Standard, normally we look as a BIS. BIS, Indian National Standard Body. On World Standard Day 2024, BIS celebrated under the same theme, shared vision for a better world, aligning with SDG 9 that addresses industry, innovation, and infrastructure in its outreach and outcome. Bureau of Indian Standard has also undertaken initiatives to align the India standard with the global benchmarking, especially in traditional sectors like textiles and Ayurveda, and in the field such as safety of the products like traffic sense, particularly helmets, pressure cookers, as well as in general for the public procurement. Institute of Engineers has to play a pivotal role and observatory to commemorate this World Standards Day. The IEA India observes WSD each year across its center. Some of the local centers have celebrated with the themes such as Spotlight on SDG 9, Industry, Innovation, and Infrastructure in Age of Artificial Intelligence. Some of the local centers, they are celebrating with the theme Role of Bureau of Indian Standard in achieving SDG 9. But when we talk about this theme in particular with respect to engineering and technology, let me brief about some of the aspects in context to the challenges and the gaps in India. Although BIS and other standard bodies exist, awareness amongst the many industries, especially the small scale industries and medium enterprises, SMEs, about the adopting or integrating standard is very low as per the recent survey and study made by the Bureau of Indian Standards and other authorities. In procurement, sometimes standards are not mandated or enforced rigorously. Nowadays, it is the season of festival, and the media, print or electronic media, who must be watching that. Food inspector visited the mithai shops. Food inspector visited the cracker shop, and they are not meeting the standards, and they put the seal. This is nothing but lack of the protocols, lack of the awareness, and lack of advanced intimation to the people who are engaged in such type of the commodity type or small scale or medium scale work which required to be earned for their day to day, satisfaction as well as survival. So even communities, even charity organizations like Rotary, Lions, JCs, other two should take, even engineering college, the NSS, they should take this particular, challenge to make this sensitization among the people who run the household businesses, who run the seasonal businesses for their earning and survival. In product, sometimes the standards are not mandated or enforced rigorously, and unfortunately, the people who are engaged in such type of the services, they are suffered for their livelihoods. In emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, green hydrogen, renewable energy system, smart grids, the standardization is still evolving. We know the uses of the solar, rooftop solar, or uses of the rainwater harvesting, rooftop rainwater harvesting system, uses of IoT for the smart household domestic utilization equipment. Each company, each producer, each manufacturer, they are offering some five-star UK ranking, some five-star US ranking, some five-star Indian standards. So you cannot trust on even the household goods which are being sold by the agencies or the by people with different rating star ratings. Even use of artificial intelligence in education, in technology, in community services, in trading, in medicine is required a separate protocols, but till it is not aligned because it is a new area. So people are required to be sensitized for this holistic as well as the disciplinary use of such technology, particularly AI and other digital platform facilities. Coordination among the central and state government, regulatory agencies, industry association, and academic institutions are not balanced. Each of them governed by the different policies. Each of them they are governed by different protocols. So uniformity, the transition from the topmost authority, that is federal government, to the state government, to the district, and the people in the society should have a common thought process, should have a common respect for the standards and protocols. Challenges for academia is to the higher level than other people because we always addresses to our curricula. We always try to finish our curricula. We always try to demonstrate in the experiment or laboratories according to the curricula and the guideline, but we require to focus now learning beyond curriculum activities through the society enrich or the outreach program. So let more and more sensitization program. Even when I talk about the construction industries, let me talk about IS 8, 800 steel design of the steel structures. So again, the cover plate, the minimum thickness of the plate, the minimum diameter of the bolt, the minimum diameter of the screw, the paint to be used, the section to be used. So different people, different companies, different designers. Again, they are felicitating the end users. Oh, sir, your design is true. But I will say, oh, as per IS standards, the minimum thickness of the angle should be 5 mm. No, no, we are running this particular structure with the 3 mm or 2.5 mm. We are using this paint. You should not advise about this paint, which is costly. So even sensitization about the construction or the infrastructure industry, the type of the cement. Some talk about OPC, some talk about PPC. They are not about the IS 456 now. OPC and PPC are. It is only now 43 grade, 53 grade cements. There is no OPC, PPC. They are not aware about the blended cement, about the percentage of the fly ash or the subsidiary cementing material to be used. So we have to make more and more sensitization to the people, right from a labor to the designer to the executors. Thus, engineers in India are uniquely positioned to act as a bridge between the standard organization and the followers, translating standards frameworks into practical local implementation, influencing the regulatory adoption, enabling the awareness, and evoking beyond the compliance is need of the day. When we talk about the role of engineers and institutions in driving standards, as a member of IEI and engineering community, what is our responsibility under this shared vision? So number one, I will focus on standard development participation. Engineers and academia must actively participate in the national and international standard committees because we are doing a lot of research. We should ensure that whether our research is taken care by the committees who are formatting and formalizing the standards. Just we get satisfaction that I am awarded a doctorate degree. Many innovative projects, innovative ideas, even from students, should be shared to the committee which generate and which formulate the standards. I will give a simple example. When I completed my doctoral degree on high volume fly ash, I have requested my guide and the people at SPNIT Surat to take these particular findings because IS 456, the earlier version, 2001 version, it limits the use of fly ash to 25 percentage when in the cement blending. There were no mention about the blending of fly ash directly into the concrete. No code was existing. Even just we will relaying some of the experiment through the ACI and the findings of Dr. Malhotra and Mehta. So I requested the research committee at SPNIT Surat because I have tested up to 70% blending of these fly ash with the cement as well as directly blending into the concrete. I have developed the process how it should be blended with the cement and how it should be blended with the concrete. And they have forwarded to the subcommittee who looks after these through these Indian Concrete Institute and these ACI India chapter. I don't know directly or indirectly the percentage of the blending of the fly ash from 25 to 35 and almost in concrete 45% plus they are allowed to blend it with the standard protocol. So we should encourage our members and students to volunteer in BIS process, in ISO process, as well as through the different chapters like IEI, IEEE, Computer Society, Institute of Engineers, Student Branch, so that the innovative work even under student startup and innovation policy, many of the students are developing a state-of-art product, state-of-art process, or improvement in the quality assurance. So these small thoughts through our chapters, through the regulatory bodies, should be taken to the agencies and authority who are directing these standards and framing the standards for different product and processes. We combinedly, jointly, we have to bridge the gap between design and standard compliance. Too often, design team innovate without full awareness of applicable or upcoming standards. Simple example, again I will give for the structure design. We say to the contractors that when the soil is affected by these salt and underground water, the cover of the footing should be raised by 10 mm. Normal cover is 40 mm. We should go for 50 mm. Oh, nowhere, it is 1.5 inch. I will go for only 40 mm. Again, when we refer them that this is the aggressive environment, the cement to be used should be alkali resistant cement or sulfate resistant cements. No, it's costly, so I am not going to use this cement. So we have to give them alternate idea that have a blended cement either with GGBS. So design engineers should not only focus themselves on only on the design. Even the when mechanical engineering design, the pit distance or the edge distance, it is prescribed in the code 1.5 times the nominal diameter of the bolt. But either they are following or not, we don't know. In a plate of 300 by 300, we have 15 volts or 16 volts, whether edge distance and pitch distance it is justified or not. So engineers should not merely concentrate on these particular, end users, but should stick to the code. Okay, it is as per 2.5, the pitch distance, I will go for 2.5. You have to increase the size of the plate. Let the consumption per square feet of the structural steel is more. We should not worry about the minimum diameter of the steel. When we talk about the structure design in the earthquake resist, earthquake prone zone like zone 5, it is minimum 10 diameter the links. 10 diameter we are using the slab, we cannot use for the rings. So all this, the design engineers should stick to the codal provision. And if we are tricking the codal provision, we may not have satisfaction from the end users, but we should satisfy that I have adhere myself to the standard protocols which is given by the Indian standards. Another challenge, the localization and adoption. While global standards are important, local climate, geographical location, the local regulatory authorities, economics in context need adoptions. Engineers shape how global standards can be customized or extended in India. Nowadays, suppose if your some relative get some costume for you and you go to the sticker in the collar, made in China as per US standard, made in Indonesia as per the UK standards. So now even the developing country work for the behalf on behalf of these developed country, but they maintain the standards. 80% of the production of the United States it is done in the China, but they adhere the North American standards. So and we when we talk about the same Chinese product in India, our perception is different. Recently the Diwali season, we prohibited on these candle from China. We prohibited the crackers from the China. But you are the best judge. Yesterday there was one celebration in university. 10,000 deep was lighted. It was not the regular this candle, but it was a Chinese bulb. See how we are respecting the protocols in the diplomatic way. So as an engineer, as an academician, it is our moral responsibility to take care for the global standard to meet the local standard and vice versa. The local standard, when we talk about now India to be Viksit Bharat by 2047, so slowly and gradually our standard should also meet the global standard, particularly for the developed countries. We should take initiatives in training, sensitization, and awareness building. Institute of Engineer and its centers can organize trainings, workshop, seminar, certification program to raise awareness program amongst the engineers, industry professionals, and students about the standardizations and importance. I am happy to share that when IS 800 was under revision, we at BNB Institute of Technology, in collaboration with IST and Institute of Tea Development Growth, Calcutta, we have 1 week staff development program on the new standards of IS 800 and critical studies between the version 1978 and version 2000. So similar type of the workshop, seminars, brainstorming session, or the faculty development program should constantly engage. Nowadays, IS 456, IS 1893 for the earthquakes, and even the code for the mechanical and electrical engineer, they are coming out. So let we have a continuous sensitization and awareness building program for the students, for the faculties, and professionals at large. Standard in research and innovation is the need of the day. In research lab and academia, we must encourage the projects to consider the standard compliance or future standard potential and thereby enabling the easier transfer of research to real world application. Nowadays, many application-based research, many base research, or many fundamental research are going, but how best they are penetrated to the real world, again, it is a challenge. Many MTech theses, many PhD MTech dissertation and PhD theses are dumped into National Depository Library, NDL, and other platforms. We should look whether the government, whether the policy making bodies, whether RNB or GEB or other authorities, they are taking into account this finding of the students, the researchers into the real world application. These directly or indirectly addresses the challenges of the standard, because research is always referred by the plagiarism. Research are always addressed by the standards. So they are proven things. So if the proven things are sensitized among the user, there will be a optimized cost, there will be minimum accident, and there will be safer and comfortable uses to the people who are engaged in the real world. Advocacy and policy interface is again need of the day. Engineers, and particularly our Institute of Engineers, can collaborate with the regulators and government agency procurement and into development programs. We can purpose that government tenders mandate compliances with the national or international standards. Again, the preparation of the tender is one of the biggest challenge, whether it is construction and infrastructure, whether it is mechanical, whether it is the industry, whether it is food security, agriculture, any field of engineering, technology, and science and business and management, whether we are preparing the standards, the specification our tenders, or we are preparing tender to help someone, that is again a big question. So we as an engineer, we as an academician, would engage ourselves, support R&B, support industry association to derive the tenders which are globally competitive, we are globally holistic, and which is not prepared to serve the purpose for the favor to some party or some person. Continuous monitoring, feedback, and improvement is need of the day. Adoption is not enough. Feedback loops, audits, update, revision of the standard based on the field experience are essential. There is Durgatna boat in Vadodara, so the protocols for the student visit to the pilgrims and other entertainment parks are different. There is fire in the tuition classes. The norm for the fire safety and fire extinguisher is different. There is a fire in the play zone at Rajkot. Again, the safety norms and other thing and the responsibility will change. Yesterday itself, there was big debate going between the municipal fire officers and the politicians. Who is the ultimate authority who can issue the fire certificate? We have read into media and these newspapers that the fire certificate are issued by the civil engineer. It is wonder. So nowadays they are safety certificate issued by only fire officer will be taken into account for this selling of the crackers or some fun and amusement and entertainment parks. Engineers must be vigilant in improving and updating standard systems. We always say that learning from failure is the best example. By doing so, we can turn a shared vision into a shared action and into a shared impact. Of course, no journey is without obstacle. Some of the key challenges in day to day, we recognize again the mindset of the people, many stakeholders, particularly the household industries, the startup, small and medium scale industries, regard the standard as a cost burden or compliance overhead rather than the enablers. So we have to change the perception of their mind to the hardest level. It is not a burden on the cost. It is not a law which is enforcing, but it is a human engineering. It is an intellectual question that required to be addressed by the startups, by the local industries, by SME. Setting up startup is now competitions. Anyone with a small idea will come out with a startup, but without this startup addresses the standard protocols, norms, safety, process, product, comfort level. It is novel idea, but novel idea must meet with the standard protocols and standard. Resource expertise constraint is also one of the booming challenge. Developing, maintaining, and updating the standard requires manpower, domain expert, funding, and infrastructure. So for this, we should require a pilot deployment before formalizing any standard. We require a very quality testing labs which are, equipments are regularly calibrated. Nowadays, many private laboratories are coming up. Even engineering colleges and polytechnic laboratories, they are used for testing of materials. So are we calibrating all the equipments which are used in the testing are calibrated every year? Have we applied for the NABL accreditation? Many hospitals, they are not applying for the national accreditation for the hospitals. So at our Charta Vidyamandal and Charta University, the Ayurvedic hospital, it is NABH approved. The testing laboratory, the iStar and SICAT, they are NABL approved. Recently also at BVM Engineering College, our metal testing laboratory, our concrete laboratory, our soil laboratory, and transportation, we have done it NABL accreditation. So not only programs are required to be accredited, not only colleges to be NAC accredited, but at the same time, the facilities which are used for the public, which are used for these agencies, that should be also have accreditation at the national and international level. Rapid technology change is again one of the challenge to adopt the standards time to time. The emerging technology like artificial intelligence, 6G, quantum computing, quantum system, bioengineering, these evolve faster than the standard development. I am witness that when I was studying in BNB Polytechnic, IS 456, it was 1978, and I was studying the subject in 1983. So 7 to 8 years old standards we were following in the, even when I go for the master, the same standard we were using in 2005-6. There is a less, a very slower frequency in updating the norms for the standards for the design as well as the constructions. So there is a risk of standard lagging innovation. So standard, not in particular as a whole standards, but there may be some amendment as per requirement by the real world. Fragmentation and multiplicity of the standards, parallel or competing the standards, particularly regional, national, and proprietary, may lead to confusion, lock-in, or error in non-interoperability is one of the biggest threat. Harmonization between different region, different nation, different continent, and world at large is a complex system. Governance, information, and regulations required to be very rigorous. Even if standard exists, their enforcement in public procurement, regulatory policy, and adoption may be weaker. So we should work on this area also. For smaller firms, the cost of the transition or compliance may be high unless supported by incentives, subsidies, or market demand. As we talked previously about the small and medium scale industries, about the cottage and household industries, we should give some subsidy to make their product and the process to follow certain standard. We must acknowledge these challenges, but not let them deter us. Call to action as we commemorate World Standard Day today. Let us resolve to transform theme's shared vision for a better world into a concrete action. Here are proposals and commitments for Institute of Engineers, other engineering societies and professional bodies, as well as allied stakeholders. Launch an IEI standardization fellowship or internship. Students are going to many industries during the summer or winter for the internship. Let the internship on the standard practice and protocol can be organized. Offer the opportunities to young engineers or students to work in BIS, national standard bodies or standard committees. There must be participation of students or the end users in forming the standards. State and local level chapter action plans. Each IEI center should draw 3-year roadmap for standardization promotion, like number of workshop, domain focus, like renewable energies, smart cities, and healthcare, including the partnership with the regional, national, and international organization. स्टैंडर्ड क्लिनिक्स फॉर एसएमई एंड स्टार्टअप, अभी दिल्ली में बात किया तो भाई मोहल्ला क्लिनिक खुली. So similarly, the standard clinic for the SME and startup should be, established in GIDCs or other organization. II chapters can organize standard clinics or some camp pre-advisory sessions to help the local firms to understand the applicable standards, compliance path, testing lab, and certification. Nowadays, this fire safety and fire audit, including energy audit, it is one of the challenging. So let IEI can have some energy audit activities in the local industries, as well as some sensitization workshop for the standards in the local and community industries. Integration in curriculum and continuing education. In NEP 2020, we talk about major, we talk about minor, also micro credential. If the students want to take one or two courses on standardization, let them select from the basket and one or two credit that is called micro credit concept. So it should be also taken in a university or the curriculum system, the micro credit. So students who are interested to learn some standards for mechanical, some standard from energy, some standard for material, they can take one or two subject and have micro credits. You can have also the honors. Students of mechanical engineering, if you or she can go for 15 to 20 extra credits for engineering in diploma, 12 to 15 credits extra in standards, they can be awarded BTech or diploma major in mechanical with minor of the Bureau of Indian Standard for the heat transfer or for machine design or for robotics, whatever it may be. So similar curriculum reframework must be taken in care. Open electives must be kept in mind for the students at each level. Policy advocacy and partnership by interfacing with BIS, central state government authority to mandate the relevant standards in public procurement, advocate the new infrastructure projects and adopt the updated standards. Cross-disciplinary collaboration, engineer with planners, economists, social scientists, environmentalists to ensure the standards are holistic and inclusive. They are just not technical. So again, in NEP 2020, interdisciplinary subjects, multidisciplinary learning approach is a need of the day. So we can take this cross-disciplinary collaboration within academia and between academia as well as industry. Monitoring and feedback mechanism, anything we do, but if there is no feedback mechanism, then it is not a holistic activity. Create a channel or a portal for engineers to report their field experience, their challenges, deviation from the standards, and to inform the revision of the standards so that the loop is closed right from regulatory body to the end users. Celebrate and recognize the standard champion. IEI can institute awards or recognition for engineers, industry players, or institutions who excel in standard-based innovation or implementation. Many companies are going for ISO. So ISO certification again take care for their process, administrative process, technical process, and outreach activities. So we should host some award for the institution, whether the college is NAC accredited, whether the programs are NB accredited, whether the laboratories are NABL accredited. So you can have institute one award for such type of the initiative also. Public awareness and outreach is need of the day. If each of us at local, regional, national level commits even to one or two of these collectively, we will move significantly towards the better world. In concluding, dear fellow engineers, faculties, students, and members of IEI, in this era of shared crises like climate change, like pandemics, like resource stress, and the shared opportunity like technology, connectivity, collaborations, we cannot build in the silo. Our shared vision for the better world demands that engineers, the institutions, the government, the industries, and citizens unite around a common framework, common goals, and common standard. Through standards, we give structure to our collective aspirations, enabling compatibility, safety, trust, and progress. Through collaboration, we convert vision into impact. Let us, as a member of IEI, pledge to be active contributors to the standardization ecosystem, to be vigilant, to be proactive, engaged in the activities which are referred to the standards of different level. Let our work not only reflect technical excellence, but also ethical responsibility, social quality, and sustainability at large. I close with a thought: standards are not merely restrictions and barriers, they are scaffolding upon which innovation, progress, and shared human welfare can rise. Thank you, IEI local chapter, the office bearer of the chapter, and all who have given me opportunity to speak on this important occasion. And let our shared vision shine bright and drive us toward the better world. May God bless all of us for a better future. Bharat Mata ki jai, Vande Matram. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for your enlightening and thought-provoking address. Your insight have truly dependent our understanding of how collaboration, standards, and innovation can collectively drive a sustainable future. As we are come to the end of today's session, it's time to express our gratitude. I now take on opportunity to deliver the vote of thanks. On behalf of the Institution of Engineers, Vallabh Vidyanagar Local Center, I extend our heartfelt appreciation to our distinguished speaker, Professor Dr. Indrajit Patel, sir, for his valuable time and inspiring address. Our sincere thanks to Dr. Atif Amdani, Chairperson of IIVBLC, for her continuous guidance and the leadership. We also express our gratitude to our all executive committee members, corporate members, academicians, professionals, and students who join us today and made this event meaningful. Special thanks to organizing team, volunteers of IEI Vallabh Vidyanagar Local Center for their efforts and coordinating these celebrations. Thank you once again, everyone, for presence and support. Let us continue to strengthen the partnership and uphold the standards for a better and a more sustainable world. Uh, Participants, the attendance link will be shared in a chat box soon. Here we are concluding the session. Thank you, Dr. Indrajit Patel, sir. Have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you very much, sir, for such an enlightening session, beginning from the standards to vision to how to share, how to share vision. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.